Oh, we're back motherfucking at it. Let's go. This is another edition of the Bombastic podcast with Imani Wilson. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. But can I just make just a quick moment of history right now? So I feel like this is a magnanimous occasion, okay? As you can tell, I tried a different angle. I tried to get some of the wall art that's in here. I'm going to get even more wall art, some podcast-related wall art, just wall art, just a lot of that shit. None of that shit you get from Walmart that says, live, love, laugh. Fuck you. No, none of that. But I just want to make mention, like right now, this fucking do-rag right here. Okay? Just got out the shower. Okay? Make sure to get extra special for this podcast. I realized, I'm like, dude, you going to bed after this. But still, I just wanted to go and do an occasion. Because think about it. How many fucking podcasts do you know when somebody's recording and they got a do-rag on? Not a silky. I'm going to admit, I'm not these fucking kids out here. Not the silky. I don't have it tied up all the many different ways. And yes, this is called with the cape being out. Okay? If it was a fucking jet right now, jet turbine blowing in this motherfucker, it would be going this way. So, I just wanted to go ahead and make mention of that because I feel like, it's history being made. For me, this is the second podcast, officially episode 1. I'm doing it with a do-rag on. Decided to rock the all-black sweater. I feel like Dr. Dre, where you get to see more of the muscle showing. Because by the time this is out, episode 0 would have been out for a while. And the reception, I'll get into that later. But no one had enough time to tell me I look like a fucking, Ninja Turtle with that green hoodie on. Okay, Donnie. No one fucking told me nothing. Absolutely nothing about it. But, I just can't believe it. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, man. I don't know why I've been, in a musical mood starting this shit. And for some reason, I've had, that T-Pain song, Oh, I Can't Believe It. Because I'm just thinking, how much shit he got away with that song. Motherfucker said, Wisconsin. I was like, you motherfucker. You know good and well. You know good and fucking well you just got that off. But it's cool because it's you. It's motherfucker, Wisconsin. Shit don't exist. Wisconsin. No, motherfucker. Even for being from fucking Florida, you don't get that fucking accent off. It's so good. Oh, man. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm in a musical fucking mood, man. It's weird. But, speaking of fucking moods and shit, I gotta make mention to a bunch of things, because it's just updates as we go along with this crazy podcast where I sit here and speak about my many idiosyncrasies, popular media, things in the world of gaming, because I'm a nerd. You tell with some of this shit's nerd shit, and you hear passes from events from years ago, crafts and shit. I gotta make mention of this one particular bit. As you can tell, I'm still hearing my voice is slightly different because I'm still, I'm on the mend. I would say I'm on the mend. I was sick for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And, oh, yeah, this is perfect. So, not only was I sick, but for some reason, it's I guess maybe because we're in 2019, you gotta let people know online, hey, I'm really fucking sick. You can't just be sick in your own, private time. I made a joke today. It was hey, shout out to the folks who knew I was sick, because it was a very limited number, and that was more so because they've either been around me or they spoke to me and they could hear in my voice or whatever the case may be. So I was shout out to the folks who knew I was sick and follow up, and the rest of you can fuck goats. The rest of you can fuck a goat. So I was just I just made that joke. But then I had people that, again, folks about life that care about. It was yo, this is the first time I'm hearing about you being sick, bro. What's good? What's up? The cousin called me oh, I didn't know you was in the fucking hospital, B. What the fuck? I would have sent one of your cousins to come get. I'm no, I'm good. But the whole thing was, it was just the idea that I'm damn, fucking social media now, man. You really gotta let motherfuckers know that you're sick. It's the weirdest fucking thing. And don't get me wrong, when I first went to the hospital sometime last week, I did get on Snapchat. God knows why the fuck I'm even on Snapchat. I don't fucking use it. I really don't. It's like one of those apps that just sits there, and occasionally I'll just be what the fuck is this person doing? Okay, she's using Snapchat as a mirror. Fuck off. Okay, he's over here doing something weird. That's cool. Okay, cool. Friend I don't really speak to is doing some cool shit. That's it. Me, I just fuck off and go on and just post random shit. So I posted this shit here of me trying to fucking breathe And it was just more so just because I was like, well, fuck it, I'm here. And again, I let some folks know I was in the hospital. I didn't do it for like that. Oh my God, are you okay? I'm sending prayers and this, and this. Oh my God, I wish I could be able to help you. Is everything all right? Man, I'm good. But here's the thing. That's not even the apex of my fucking point here. The apex of my point here is I've been sick. Nobody's been trying to show me any type of love except for a few people with me being fucking sick. I got one homie, shout out to this motherfucker, fucking Victoria. Literally, he's like, oh, you're not sick. You probably just got a man cold. I'm like, first of all, what the fuck is that? Like, is there some, like, fucking dictionary, like did the fucking WHO, World Health Organization, did they just fucking come out with some new distinction of the fucking influenza virus that only impacts men a certain way? Like, no, I'm not man sick, where it's like I'm complaining, because man sick don't get you fucking inhalers. It fucking doesn't. That's not a man cold. And trust me, it gets worse. Because then, if I'm not getting that shit, then I got people running for me like I got fucking Ebola. It's like, oh, Sensei, I told you about being out there in these fucking streets. You want to travel, whatever. You want to move around. You didn't cause some shit. No, it's not that either. I didn't catch some shit. I mean, I did, but it's not from, some like wild contagion and shit. I got to deal with this myself, and it's not, and again, like I'm building up to the main point here, the precipice right now. What was fucked up is the second time I went to the hospital. Because my doctor's office was like, yeah, Mr. Wilson, we can see you once, once you do have a time. Matter of fact, we see you Friday. I was like, okay, perfect. So that'll be perfect. I'll get there Friday. Friday, February 1st. I'm like, bitch, it is still January. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm like, well, worst come to it. I'm like, I got you. God, I got an ER, one of those fucking, like, emergency fucking places. Gotcha. So, never mind that shit. Go to another fucking hospital, which... worst fucking place that I could have fucking picked. Right there on the... I try not to do it because last time I went to the hospital in the hood. I went to the hospital right here in the cusp of the hood in the burbs. But I know there's a lot of, mi gente in here. A lot of, brown and black people. So I'm like, it ain't lily white. So it's not that lily white Jewish funded hospital. So you still gonna have to wait. And I'm talking... you hearing people like vomiting guts up. Some dude covered in a blanket. This person doesn't speak English. This dude here, because there's always that one person that's trying to speak to you and shit. Like, I'm telling my symptoms. This dude sitting there like, yo, I swear to God, B, yo, I got the same shit you got, B. I swear to God, like, yo, I don't know who gave us that shit, B, but I'm right there with you, brother. Yo, I'm telling you, bro, like, yo, I know you's probably out there grinding. You work outside. I can tell you work outside. Bitch, I don't work outside. And when I do, it's on the shoot. This motherfucker was like, nah, I can tell you work outside, B. I work outside, too. Yeah, I got that same shit, B. I don't know what the fuck that shit is, like a cough. I'm like, yeah. The same shit. So, like, you got all these elements, and these motherfuckers, after more than an hour of me just sitting in there, crying babies, just nightmare fuel type shit, they didn't go, all right, Mr. Wilson. And they go, all right, Mr. Wilson. Of course, I gotta mention a sponsor. This podcast, like many of them, is sponsored by the drink of the day, week, month, and the motherfucking year, water. And I gotta stump my Green Lantern with the poster and the mug. And I'm not a lefty. That's just pure stunting right there. But they went ahead and was like, yeah. So and the diagnosis is what gets me fucked up, because if I share it to motherfuckers, now you're gonna know what the big wind up, what the big punchline was. So they tell me, okay. So we did your X-rays, all this other shit. We did this test. We see you got acute bronchitis. Have fun trying to tell motherfuckers, oh well, what happened? What's the diagnosis? I'm like, oh. And I knew it was gonna I knew it was coming, because I know the people I deal with. Assholes. Dickheads. Fuckos. I knew it was coming. So what do I say? I'm like, oh, well, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I gotta tell him. Yeah, I got bronchitis. First thing motherfucker tells me, anybody got time for that? You remember this shit? You remember that shit? That was exactly what this motherfucker said. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm like, really, motherfucker? Some people thinking I'm faking man colds to then avoid me like I got Ebola. Now you motherfuckers making fun of the fact that I have bronchitis. I'm like, it's just fucked up. So I couldn't fucking win. So last episode, I was recording. The video stopped somewhere mid through, because I was recording off my fucking iPad. Still am now. iPad Pro. Trying to get the 4K popping for you guys. And, for whatever reason, it stopped like within the first couple of minutes. I don't know what the fuck is good with that. But thankfully, couple of days, you know, my baby will be here. Shit cost me like a fucking 99 2002 Honda, but you know, it's gonna be worth it. So I'd step the game up, you know, so that'll be the default camera from here on out. But I just had to mention that shit. So motherfuckers dealing with bronchitis, I'm on the mend, I'm feeling good. You know, still taking my natural, you know, garlic extracts, oil, tea, water, apple cider vinegar, all of that extra normal shit. But then also with the medicine and, you know, it's fucking inhaler, which, fuck it, just, you know, like these shits now are like the official mark of like the start of this podcast. When you can be like, damn, this motherfucker, the video cut off on one, the other one, he wore a do-rag, he was taking hits from an inhaler. It was just like, yeah, man. He was real thugged out in those first few episodes, but, you know, it's just real shit. So, you know, I'm out here trying to be healthy along with everybody else, trying to be enterprising, all of that good stuff. But otherwise, I'm good. You know, trying to eat well as well. And speaking of eating well, this is some funny shit that I was thinking of earlier. So, because I think I like wild shit. I'm like in my own head. That's why I made a podcast. You know it's wild when, for some reason, you got people, especially when you're in like a house with other people, whether it be, you know, mate, spouse, you know, friend, colleagues, partner, roommates, however the fuck it's set up. But you know there's that one motherfucker in there, and you know I'm talking to your fucking spirit. I'm trying to look within the camera as best as I can, because I'm trying to speak to you, because this is some shit about yourself that you need to just make clear and make good on, alright? You are a fucking serial warrior. And let me tell you why you're a serial warrior. You are one of these motherfuckers that when it comes to a box of cereal, that motherfucker is not making it through the week. That shit is gone within like the first 2 to 3 days of purchase. It does not make any fucking sense how immediate this fucking cereal is like rocked. And you know what? It's not your fault though. I'm sorry, I'm like too amused by my own shit right now, but it's not your fault. And let me tell you why it's not your fault. Because it's a part of your upbringing. Because your caretaker saw you as most kids and said, I'm going to give you cereal. I'm going to give you one of these like little tiny fucking regular bowls. Okay? And you're going to get a serving. But then as you got older, you know, your appetite, you grow, hormones, all that shit, you want to eat more. You know, you didn't tell yourself like, oh shit, like I'm going to make bigger bowls now. And depending on the household you in, you probably got some flack for that when motherfuckers pick that box up, and you know that feeling. From when the box is kind of full and it's got a little bit of weight, to the other time when you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, that's not even the cereal. That's the toy that came with this shit. But yes, it is definitely something that is a part of your upbringing, but then even more so, what I'm realizing is it's a part of your fucking DNA. Because somewhere in your fucking DNA, you've got like the bloodline of fucking Shaka Zulu and Genghis Khan, because you just conquered fucking boxes of cereal. Stop buying the regular box of fucking cereal. You need that big motherfucker. You need that fucking family pack. You need that shit that you get that's on the bottom of the shelf for like $10, because you are fucking... Oh my god. You're a fucking serial warrior. Like, sincerely, like, dude, let's not even get into the milk conversations, because you can't be fucking stopped. Like, it is that fucking bad with you. Oh my god. No, I'm in fucking tears, because it's so fucked up and true. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh god. That was too fucking funny. But, speaking of funny, I'm so grateful for the reception that I got from episode 0. Just, you know, makes me feel good, you know, to try to begin this journey of producing, you know, content that folks like. You know, the Let Me Affairs podcast is still very much near and dear to me. It's a forever pod for me, with me and my crew, pretty much until motherfuckers leave Jersey, whichever comes first. And you know, I feel really good about the reception from episode 0, from what I got thus far. You know, so I just want to continue to, you know, try to, like, you know, king, master, craft this motherfucking content, do, you know, everything that I can to try to reach out, you know, to folks who, you know, just like to hear the crazy shit that I think of, or the shit that's currently going on. I think it's fucking dope, so I'm just going to continue to do that. But, you know, I say episode 0 into one thus far is like a brief anthology of like me getting over being sick, me sort of giving you the bits and pieces and the working machinations of my mind, and then hitting you straight up with what's going on, what's popping, and inform you, entertain you, engage you, all of that good shit. So that's pretty much fucking it. I'm just trying to get my content to be kingly. I want to get my shit down. Speaking of the fucking king of content, Netflix introduced earlier this week, well, last week, you want to set up the days of when this shit comes out. They released price hikes of their service. I think it's like maybe $2-3, something like that. And guess what? Nobody gave a fuck. You want to know why? Because they know that when it comes to motherfucking Netflix, you're not saying no to Netflix. Saying no to Netflix is like saying no to half the shit that's out there now. So you're not going to do it. So I just thought that was some funny shit how, you know, any other time you see like a price increase in like most shit, fucking motherfuckers could say, oh, well, farmers mentioned due to global warming, some shit that's, you know, that we can try to regulate, but is kind of out of our control a little bit. They'd be like, oh, well, the price of bread's going to have to go up $2. Motherfuckers would lose their fucking minds. Motherfuckers would be like, fuck that. I don't fuck with that shit anyway. But no, Netflix says $2 more. I didn't see not a soul be like, no, I'm not. No, bitch. No, bitch. Because one thing I'll say about being sick, this is the time that I actually watch shit. And speaking of watching shit, new shit and old shit I was tuning into. New shit, Punisher Season 2. Now, I'm going to try to go ahead and speak about this without giving away any real spoilers. Because number one, I'll tell you this right now about Season 2. I fucking love Season 2 for several reasons. And I'm going to try to keep this shit very non-spoiler laden. I'll just try to keep this shit tight and concise. Okay, number one, the first few episodes were like some call back to like Rambo First Blood type shit. You got Frank Castle, the Punisher, in like some small town in Ohio, and I swear it felt like fucking First Blood. You could just tell. It's like he's going in these situations. You could tell he's like, you know, he's still dangerous, still ready to fuck shit up. Like they literally opened the fucking season. All right, spoiler, fuck it. They opened the season with the man in a van covered in blood, just looking ready to go. And the shit that happens while he's covered in blood and driving on the road, it's like, yo, this is exactly what the fuck I came back for. This is what I came back for. Frank Castle fucking shit up. So yes, the first like 3 episodes were like on some Rambo First Blood, Punisher in a small town, and you know you don't need to have that animal out there. Fucking Frank Castle out there in some podunk back fucking country. Well, I love deers. Like, no, get him the fuck out of that environment because he's going to mangle everything that's standing. But let me tell you what's even wilder though. One of the antagonists of the show, you know, won't give his name away. Well, fuck it, he's called John Pilgrim. Let me tell you something about the acting. And I'm looking at this as maybe one of my things. This would be a segment where I always like to do like you know how you do like fantasy baseball, football, that shit. I want to do fantasy like casting for shit. Because you always where you see like oh this person's gonna play this superhero or gonna play this person in a biopic. I want the motherfucking dude from Punisher Season 2. I don't know the actor's name, but his fucking picture is right here. I want this motherfucker right here to play Robin Williams in a biopic. Because the whole time during the whole fucking season, I'm just waiting for like I'm just waiting for some little like Robin Williams like mannerism where he's speaking like this and he's speaking fluidly and graciously and he's going off the top of his head and whimsical. I was waiting for him to do something because I'm like, yo, this dude looks so fucking much like Robin Williams. It's wild. Like the whole time through. And the whole time he's a bloodthirsty, cold savage. So this is like almost like 24-hour photo crazy Robin Williams, but I still want it. Because I'm just like, yo, all I'm waiting is for like one genie line. Because I'm still having to reel over this shit here and wonder like what the fuck's gonna happen with that. Because I'm like, I don't fucking know. All I can do is hope for the best. I'm just some dude. Like I said, some dude from the internet. You know, but Punisher Season 2, fucking beautiful. I hope Marvel, Netflix, they figure this shit out. Disney Plus, I don't know. All I know is that it definitely deserves a Season 3 to be able to bring a lot of things whole. Because right now, the way it's gone, it's like Frank Castle is just a force of fucking nature. So you gotta somehow, you know, make that story whole. But yeah, but when I'm sick, oh, that's the perfect time for me to like just start, start watching things, start trying to like catch up on things. Another thing I've been watching, and I gotta thank Strange, my boy David Strange a little bit for this. But then also fuck him, and this is what I'm gonna say, fuck him, because the show Twin Peaks, okay, you're talking about an old school show from like the '90s, whatever the case may be, super dope cult classic. He is a big Twin Peaks fucking fan. Also a big fucking Twilight Zone fan. Also a big X-Files fan. I'm a fan of all of that shit. Do you think this motherfucker was gonna tell me, David fucking Strange, was gonna tell me, yo, dude, Twin Peaks, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. You just fuck that. You gotta see it. I mean, he did, but he didn't like implore it as he should. Because this shit so far has been changing my life. I'm on episode, I want to say 16 on season 2. And, I mean, so far, it's got like that old school 90s sort of film to it where everything's melodramatic. David Lynch still stylishly getting it popping. Still has the weird, like, fucking shot selection and just weird pacing and, like, themes throughout. So, if you like that, so pretty much put it this way. You like surrealism met with, like, a film noir, like, X-Files like type of show, Twin Peaks is right there for you. And speaking of fucking X-Files, like I said, there was just so many surprises in the show, including fucking David Duchovny in drag. I'm like, what the fuck was this? I'm like, see, that's what you gotta do for you to get on. And I was fucking crazy because I'm like, fucking Mulder, because he was a federal agent. So I'm like, it's fucking Mulder in drag before fucking X-Files even happened. So I'm like, come on, dude. Fucking Twin Peaks has just been wild. So I'm just been like, like I've been trying to catch up with it and, trying to see like what else is going on with it. And, cause I know they got a season 3 and season 3, I believe, came out on Showtime. I think it came out like maybe like a year or 2, maybe even 3 back. So, I mean, it came out recently as like a revival series, but, I definitely want to check it out. I know there's a couple of, other series that, have been coming out now. Like somebody told me, like, hey, you like Punisher, you got to see this one show, Polar, that's coming out. It's like really bunch of gratuitous violence and it's really like over the top. And I'm like, I got to watch that as well. There's a bunch of things I mean to catch up on. And catching up on things, speaking of the series as well, the Twilight Zone. So, I'm watching the Twilight Zone with my cousin. He mentions this this particular episode where, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. Fuck, I'm going to pull it up because I'm going to pull it up right in the graphic, like right there. He mentions this episode where it's this small village and this little boy named Anthony literally can like control shit with his mind to the point to where he's got this whole village shook because if you piss him off, he's going to tell you you're a really bad person and he's going to send you to the cornfield. I'm like, you little motherfucker, you. So the whole way through, I'm watching these like grown-ass people around little Anthony, who's like 6. Supposed to be 6 in the fucking show. And it's like, it's little things where folks are like, now Anthony, it's a good day, isn't it, Anthony? It's like, yeah, everything's such a good day. What did you do today? He's like, I went in the farm with the cows. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad you went in the farm with the cows. Now, all the cows are still there, right? You didn't send them to the cornfield, right? Because if you piss the kid off, he'll like, it's almost like he's got like Professor X like abilities where he can just do whatever the fuck he wants with his mind. Like, so he'll literally like, he'll turn you into some shit. He'll like destroy you with his mind, or he'll just send you to this fucking cornfield. And apparently the cornfield is like oblivion abyss of just some fucking endless fucking cornfield where he's just been sending people and shit and elements and all kinds of things that he just doesn't like. So imagine a fucking 6-year-old with an attitude problem saying, no, I don't want it. And he literally just goes, and then that shit is just gone. So I'm fucking bugging because I know off of Netflix, I've had to literally watched all of the fucking Twilight Zone series. I'm talking all of them. So when I saw this shit, I was dying because the whole time I'm telling myself, it's fucked up because this shit is so good and it still retains its value like decades later. But it was just like, fuck, man. Like I was legitimately fucking sitting there telling myself, like, yo, I could really, like, watch this episode and think about how to destroy this child. Because I was just thinking to myself, like, I'd have to destroy him. But the fucked up thing is he could read minds as well. So if you were thinking something bad about him, he knew it. Because one guy, like, snapped and was just like, someone needs to take something heavy across your skull. And he was like, you're a bad man. And, like, turned this motherfucker into some shit and sent him to the cornfield. Fuck spoilers. The fucking shit's been out for more than 40 years. So I'm like, yo, my biggest thing is like, Netflix is just one of those things where you could absolutely just go on there and just get caught up. I mean, caught up on the shit you love, caught up on some shit you didn't even know that you love. So, fucking Twilight Zone, please. And my favorite one still, to this day, well, I got two favorites. My favorite one of the Twilight Zone is the guy who just wants to be left alone so he can read his books. So something happens, I think this is like around the time of like World War II, you know, all that sort of shit back then. So it was always the fear of like nuclear fallout in the U.S. So he's in the fucking library, you know, again, he wants to be left alone with his fucking books. And I'm probably butchering the shit out of the story, but make a long story short, apparently a fucking nuclear bombing happens where he goes inside the library, goes into a bunker, and just boom, 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 everything outside gets destroyed. Comes upstairs. Nobody's in the library. The library's pretty much blown the fuck up. I mean, there's still sections of it still standing where you can get the books and shit like it. But there's nobody around. Like, everything's just been desolated. It's just him with the books. So the motherfucker literally got exactly what the fuck he wanted. He wanted to be left alone with his motherfucking books. So at some point, he's just like, he's loving it. Like, he's literally going around, picking them off the shelves, like, no more lines. No more people fucking with me. I get to just go ahead and be alone with these books. And then at some point, it started to sink into him, like, well, wait. You know, I really won't be able to do this, and I won't be able to do that. Like, he started to really think about, you know, the value in human life and go, motherfucker, it is really just me now with these motherfucking books. So he started to, like, panic and shit. And upon panicking, he started, like, trying to run around to, like, find people and find help and shit. He trips, falls, breaks his motherfucking glasses. So now he is in a world by himself with his motherfucking books and can't see dick. So I thought that shit was wild of an episode. That's always bothered me. I always had this thing of like, yo, what if I just woke up and was nobody around? And I always tell myself, yeah, the peace and quiet may be kind of chill for like the first little while until then you realize like, ooh, yeah, it really is just me in this bitch. Huh. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, and then the other one, which is fucking super infamous. I mean, I can just drop this. Anyone that's seen the Twilight Zone, you've seen this episode. The shit on the plane, on the fucking plane wing, where only the guy can fucking see it. No one else can see this monster on this fucking wing. That is the fucking reason I don't like nighttime flights. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I prefer red eyes. I prefer all that shit. I don't like nighttime flights. I don't like flights when it's like rainy weather because it always comes in my mind. Like, I'm like, all right, this is a multi-million, $100 million, probably billion-dollar vehicle in the sky. I'm not worried about it. What happens, happens. I'm good. I'm going to my destination, God willingly. But the idea that there would be some shit on the wing that only I can fucking see, and I gotta explain this shit to people. Black man, 2019, rocking fucking do-rags. Yo, something on the fucking wing of the plane. No. Can't do that. You can't do it. But in the fucking Twilight Zone episode, it was wild because this fucking thing was literally like just, it was like appearing just for him. I forgot what the whole like real like end like point of it all was, but it was fucking crazy. But it's just wild thinking of Netflix. Excuse me for coughing into the mic. But it's just wild just thinking on Netflix how you can just catch up on these sort of things. And they're just like there. You know, like any other time you would have to go on TV and maybe like find a marathon that's on. Or maybe you'd have to go to YouTube and see. But no, but Netflix just has certain like I'm talking anthologies of the shit. So I love it. So Netflix, it's been Punisher Season 2, which has been dope. You know, got a couple other things on my list. Fucking Twin Peaks that I'll be wrapping up probably in the next couple of days, and then I gotta go to Season 3, which I don't even think is on Netflix, and then fucking Twilight Zone, which is always a classic. And I mean, you know, if you ever like want something to like fuck your head up before you sleep, throw in Twilight Zone. If you just want to go the fuck to sleep, Bob Ross. Bob Ross is the boss. I definitely throw Bob Ross on before I sleep because ASMR is real, and for me, it is amazing. But that's some shit for like a whole nother like episode. I wouldn't be able to even get into it. I have to think of all the current other things going on right now, because as a nerd, I have to be like right here on the pulse of what the hell is going on. So by the time this pod comes out, because I was speaking about the game Overwatch, and I know some people was just like, oh, I don't know what the fuck that is. Just indulge me for a second. So Overwatch, this first person shooting game, like team based, you and like 5 other people, so it's like six versus 6 teams on this like arena and these maps and all this other shit. It came out with the Chinese Lunar New Year event. So what I noticed in this Chinese Lunar New Year event was that they've always do the themes in some sort of touch with Chinese culture, which is why I really give Overwatch its due. It has a diverse cast of a diverse offering of different characters and shit like that. So they cover certain like events. In this instance, they covered Chinese Lunar New Year. I think they covered historical figures, mythological figures as well, and Chinese history. And I looked at the fucking skins. Most of them pretty much were motherfuckers with beards. It was just like beards popping. I'm talking like silky lace front like beards. Little motherfucker that would always look the same, except he's just got a beard. One chick had a do-rag on. Another chick looked like just some like white chick that was just like, I'm going to Shanghai. So it was just like, it's just, it was one of those fucking things where I'm like, all right, Overwatch, this is cool, but what else? I think as a gamer, I'm reaching that what else period in my life now. Like last year for me, the games that came out that fucking got me because they weren't just what else was obviously God of War and fucking Spider-Man for PS4. PS4 exclusives. So I know motherfuckers probably who don't have PS4 felt pretty salty about that. And that's cool to feel pretty salty about that. If I didn't have a PS4, I feel pretty salty if like 2 of probably the biggest games to be released in a year were coming out and I ain't got no piece of that action. But there's a bunch of games out now that I'm the same way about. So right now, as of this recording, okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 is released. I don't give a fuck. And now let me explain why I don't give a fuck about Kingdom Hearts coming out. I never was a fan of 1 or 2. Just never did anything for me. Never did. I don't understand the lore. I don't understand the lore of what pulls motherfuckers into it. But I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna try to sit here and think of some like witty way to be like, well, I just don't fucking care. Like, oh, but you got Goofy with you, and oh, you got Hercules. I don't give a fuck. I understand that you incorporated Disney characters into this universe, and then Square Enix gives you that whole Final Fantasy V. Guess what? Even as a hardcore nerd and gamer, I didn't really fuck with Final Fantasy like that either. So yes, I know some motherfuckers like, this is blasphemy. Fuck him. Grab him by his do-rag, beat his ass, run his fucking fade. Again, your dick beat is up. We can do this. But I'm telling you right now, never cared. Never gave a fuck. Never gave a fuck about Final Fantasy. Never especially gave a fuck about Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, or 3 that's out now today. You can find some other person in the pod about that, YouTube about it. I implore you. Listen, if I had a couple of links to send to you, I'd be like, yo, go see them that way. But as far as with you being here with moi, don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that. Keep that shit there. So no, Kingdom Hearts, get the fuck up out of here. It came out, but I don't care. I just don't. And speaking of more games that came out, Resident Evil 2 Remastered, I think it was. Like, look, you see I had to think about that? Why? Because I don't give a fuck. I never gave a fuck about Resident Evil 1, 2, whatever the fuck else that has ever come out that's Resident Evil. I have never given a fuck at all. And there's good reasons why I've never given a fuck. Number one, I had a cousin. Still got a cousin. Bless him. Fucking cousin Simon. He would like babysit me. He's my older cousin, almost like a big brother to me. And, my aunt would go out. She was, working, always doing a thing. I think my other cousin, also hustler extraordinaire. She was always out working or something. So he would watch me. What he would do is he would turn all the lights off in the apartment. Like, so this dickhead would set the ambience for it to be as scary as fuck to play this game. So he would turn all the lights off in the apartment, close all the drapes. There's like almost no light in this bitch. He would have Resident Evil on. He would have it on as the volume as loud as humanly possible and play the shit and say, yeah, you gotta be in the room with me because I'm watching you. So I would have to watch him play some shit that I'd be scared about in a dark fucking apartment. Now, the thing is, you would probably think to yourself, well, worse things have happened to kids, dude. Like, come on, it's just a fucking video game. Yeah, but fuck that. If I don't like that kind of scary shit, I don't want to fucking go ahead and be inundated with it by some motherfucker. And I'm talking like he was a crass motherfucker. Like, fucking still is. Like, I'm pretty sure he probably, like, undid all the cable box cables so I couldn't, like, go to another room and watch TV. No. This dickhead would be in there fighting Nemesis with the volume up. It's dark, and I'm fucking young as shit and scared as shit. Like, yo, please, stop playing this fucking game. Please stop playing this fucking game. So, Resident Evil, I think 2 Remastered came out. And as you can tell by the look on my face and that fucking backstory, I don't give a fuck. I just don't. Like, and I think I don't give a fuck not just because it's like, oh, well, you're just scared of the game. I don't even think it's that. It just, I tell people all the time, me and zombies, I'm not a zombie person. Like, zombies, they don't, zombies? No. Not, and especially not in a video game. Like, that's just, the only zombie video game that I like, because it's got, like, cinematic and thematic, like, style to it, would be Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead, and specifically Left 4 Dead 2, because Coach is fucking hilarious. And so is Ellis and the rest of them. But other than that, zombies has never been my thing. So when I saw that Resident Evil 2 was coming out, and everybody's like, yo, it's coming out, I can't wait, I'm so excited. You're excited about a game that you played like 20 motherfucking years ago. It's 2019. Who should still be giving a fuck about this? No. I told you, I'm at the point as a gamer where I want newer and fresher fucking experiences. I don't want these motherfucking retreads, man. And don't get me wrong, I've been caught up with the remastered of shit. I mean, Metal Gear Solid Remastered, I got it. You know, BioShock Collection HD Remastered, I'm looking at my PlayStation now. I mean, I got it. You know, it's like certain things like that I get, but just, I don't know. Fucking Resident Evil is just, it just never resonated in me at all. Like, it never fucking did. And speaking of not resonating, I hear there's like a new Metroid game that's being developed now. Guess who doesn't have guess who doesn't have a Nintendo system? And guess who doesn't give a fuck? You're not gonna believe it. I'm like, come on, like, you know, and again, I understand that these are new releases and it's not just about me, especially if I'm sharing it in a podcast form and a video form that's supposed to be about informing people. I'm informing you that these things are coming out. You should look forward to it because the Resident Evil 2 game Remastered is out now. Kingdom Hearts 3 is out now. That Metroid game's in development. So that's news for you. But for me, I just so happen to not give a fuck. So it's like this. It's a reciprocal. You know, it's a mutualistic, beneficial exchange here. I'm telling you about shit that's out now. I just so happen to not give a flying fuck about any of it. So, you know, that's pretty much fucking that. What I will tell you about, and I'm actually tempted to fucking pull this bitch up, and now I'm on my handy dandy motherfucking PlayStation right now. This game, Atomic Heart. For some reason, like, I was looking at it, and speaking of, like, fucking, you know, BioShock and other shit like it, it was, like, right there in the very same, like, vein of, like, a BioShock, and I'm just like, dude, like, matter of fact, actually, see if I can find this shit. Yeah, I found it. I'm gonna go and pull this up. It's the 10-minute gameplay trailer. I'm not gonna go for the whole 10 minutes, but we'll go for a nice little stretch. So it's like you're in some like fucked up amusement park or something like it. Like, look at this shit. See, but here's the thing though. I like shit like this because this is like one of those experiences. It's an experience. I'm looking for new fucking experiences. Now, I can easily say this reminds me of BioShock. Like, yeah, you see the whole setup. You know, motherfuckers walking around. That's some, like, weird sci-fi bendy shit where it's kind of like Dishonored. It's got a little bit of Fallout vibe. So that's the thing. It's fine for games to draw inspiration from other games and other titles. It's just, are you giving me a new experience? Or are you giving me a retread? Or are you just playing on my nostalgia? Like look at these motherfuckers. Like, you can tell, obviously, those little motherfuckers, if they roll up on you, because what they're going to do, they're going to roll up on you. They're going to fuck you up. So, like, this definitely looks like, you know, it looks like one of those games that I'd be willing to, like, give it a go. Like, give me a demo. You know, let me see something. Oh, shit. Hey, you see? And you just boss them. And again, not zombies. Okay? It doesn't look like zombies necessarily. You know? It's just something different. It's like when We Happy Few, which is a game that came out too long ago. I was like, okay, this looks interesting. I didn't get it because, you know, I was like, at the end of it. But, you know, yeah. I like weird shit like this because it's different. And this looks like one of those games that I would be interested to see what the story is about. I'd just be interested in it. Like, that's my thing. I just want to see being interested in shit. So, you know, yeah, which I've just cut it now. But, it's like just trying to find, like newer experiences that are out there and shit, and just really, try to find yourself being engaged. Or at the very least, then they give me something that is like, it comes from like an indie studio. It's an intellectual property that's one-on-one. And again, its own experience. So yeah, I'm like doubling down on what I said. I'm just looking for fucking new experiences. There's nothing wrong with remasters. Nothing wrong with any of those things. There's nothing wrong with none of that shit. Hey, different strokes for different folks. I just don't want to fucking continue to play the same game that I did back 20 years ago, except now you just revamp it to now for a quick cash grab of my fucking nostalgia. It's like with these fucking movies that are out now. It's like most of them are just remakes now. Like, you hear they're doing a new Ghostbusters now. Listen, Ghostbusters 2's one of my favorites. It does not mean that I necessarily want to fucking see another sequel to it right now in the modern era. I just don't care. But again, it's gonna play for the people's emotions and nostalgia and feelings of an intellectual property that's successful, that's going to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the way I look at it is, I'm just coming from a place where I like new experiences. Give me something that's fucking new for me to be able to go, you know what? That's pretty fucking interesting. I like it. Like you see with Twin Peaks. I knew it was interesting, never saw it before. It piqued my interest, and now I want more of it, which is why they then made a revival of the motherfucker. So again, I mean, it's weird because it kind of ebbs and flows among itself, because it's like constantly someone trying to push something to you that they feel is good fucking for you. But talking a lot on this podcast. On this particular one, yeah, I feel like I'm like truly a fucking like chatty Cathy, just. But I mean, it's a podcast. What the fuck else do you want me to do? You want me to sit here and dance for you? No, that's gonna have to be for another time when I'm not on these inhalers. But what I did want to speak about, one of my favorite sections, of course, live from the comment sections, because social media is a very fucking funny place. As I mentioned earlier, you apparently you gotta like go on social media and let people know you're sick, that you're alive, that you care about them, that it's their birthday. Or even the funniest shit is, you know what, motherfuckers, for my birthday, I want to go ahead and put out a cause for a brown squirrel initiative. I want you to donate to a brown squirrel initiative on my birthday on Facebook. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Listen, bless you. It's philanthropy. It's for someone else that's not for you and serving a greater cause. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean, and when I say I'm going to do it, doesn't mean that I'm going to be the guy who's going to necessarily put you up for that sort of thing. If it's an organization that I care about, then I'm going to put my time, my energy, and my resources and invest that time in with them. I'm not going to use my Facebook to say, hey, it's my birthday. I need you to go on here and donate X amount of money to the Brown Squirrel Reserve. I'm not going to fucking do that. But what I am going to do speak about some funny shit I saw on Instagram. So, like I mentioned on my Instagram, I follow like certain profiles and certain pages. So, outright, I follow GQ because GQ, it's just a standard of style and culture and fashion and all that sort of stuff. So, it's just one of the standards. So, I've always followed them. Now, what I did happen to follow was rapper. Some folks may know him, some folks may not. Named ASAP Rocky was featured in an article. It was speaking about this tour he's got going on. He's which and then his whole style and and pizzazz and panache and all that shit. Which I'm just like Rock. Rock is cool. He's from Harlem. He's a cool cat, whatever the case may be. Seemingly from his music, whatever the case may be. But I feel like he's gotten a little bit more on like the fashion side of things, less than the rap game. Like I feel like I feel like who Rocky is. Rocky's like that dude in high school that dresses really cool. So because he dresses really cool, he's cool with every fucking body. Like even the dangerous motherfuckers that'll probably beat his ass, he's cool with them just because he's cool. So Rocky is like fucking literally cool. But the whole point of it was that it was speaking about on in the actual post itself about rappers, not even rappers, but it was speaking about his concert and moshing and stuff at his concert. Now, what I thought was interesting was that I went in the comment section because I don't know, call me a fucking glutton, call it just it fuels this part of the podcast. But I was like, all right, I'm curious to know what the comment section got to say about this. So there's some fucking dude in here, and this is gonna be example. So let's go ahead and do this now. He is motherfucking target 0 for bombing. Pretty much put it to you this way, for bombing. And I mean that not in a literal sense, so don't get the fucking words fucked up. So it was funny because he posted on there, laughing my ass off, there are no real mosh pits at hip-hop concerts. Huh. I'm like, so here was my thing. I told him straight up, I'm like, hey, dude, I don't think you actually know what you're talking about. And the only reason why I say I don't think you know what you're talking about is because you realize that every hip-hop concert is not one and the same. When you go see Jay-Z, it's way different from when you go see, YG. Just like seeing YG is different from you seeing Kendrick. And you seeing Kendrick is way different from you seeing, whomever the fuck. But the whole point was, when Dude said that there was no moshing at hip-hop concerts, I'm like, I gotta call bullshit. And I'm especially calling bullshit because I'm considering the notion that, and I had to tell him straight up, I was like, okay, I'm not sure what particular, concerts that you've been to, but there definitely are moshing at concerts. It just depends on the artist that you go to. And he was just like, yeah, I've gone to see Travis Scott, Sheck West. And I was like, ho! So you made a general ass blanket statement that there are no fucking moshing at fucking rap concerts, but you got the nerve to mention fucking Sheck West? First of all, child, because that's pretty much how I had to speak to him after that. I'm like, dude, first of all, you clearly have never been to like a Danny Brown concert. You've never been to a Flatbush Zombies fucking concert. You've never been to anything that, like, none of Triple X's fucking concerts, RP to the kid. You've never been to a fucking Denzel Curry concerts. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean that there's no moshing at hip-hop concerts? I'm like, dude. I'm like, fucking, even Lupe, when he was doing his Japanese fucking cartoon fucking act, had moshing at his fucking concerts. I'm like, Limp Bizkit, I understand, that they may be really old as fuck, whatever the case may be, but still, they was more so still that, like, rap kind of fusion. I'm like, there's moshing at motherfucking rap concerts. But my thing is this. Don't try to use Travis Scott and then Sheck West as your fucking example. That's fucking hard. It's almost like saying, there's no good places to get a fucking burger around here. The only good places I've ever had a burger at was from Wendy's and fucking fucking McDonald's. I'd be like, time out. You never been to a steakhouse, bitch? Like, that's my biggest thing is like, how the fuck can you make such a generalized fucking statement about some shit that you've got a limited experience on? That's what I told him. I told him straight up, like, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. The motherfuckers you just named are like new school. He mentioned somebody else, but it's just so much. It's so not even worth trying to dig into. The fact that the motherfucker says Sheck West, I was like, oh yeah. Don't mention about you going to hip hop concerts and there being no moshing when you got to mention Travis Scott and Sheck West. You're talking about artists who've been out for like maybe a handful of. One guy's been out for maybe 2 years at best. Another one maybe about 5, give or take. So don't say hip hop concerts, no moshing over some shit between 2019 to 2014. Because then you, sir, don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I had to blow him the fuck up. I was like, dude, you need to expand your fucking palette. Go see Flatbush Zombies, and I want you to tell me ain't no fucking moshing. When they get shit popping, you get your motherfucking shit rocked, and you can't do nothing because it's a mosh pit. That's just what happens. You know, some motherfuckers are like courteous, like they swinging, moshing, doing that shit, you know, going in the tantrum. Motherfuckers will be like, oh, my bad, whatever the case may be. But don't fucking tell me someone that's been in the mosh, that's moshed. Don't tell me there's no fucking mosh in hip-hop concerts. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing what the fuck you're talking about. But when you go online and you try to say it, and then you put on a GQ ass, so you thought you was slick, like laughing my ass off. There's no moshing in hip-hop concerts. Nah, bitch. You ain't never been to a real hip-hop concert, and you never moshed in one. That's okay. You want to see fucking Sheck West. The motherfucker probably did Mo Bamba, his fucking hit song, like 5 times. I'm like, so no. That's why you didn't have any fucking moshing. Fucking kids, my God. But there's some fucking there's a future for them, because they are the future. And this is my favorite article to fucking touch up on. We're about give about a week away from the Super Bowl, right? So this 10-year-old kid, and I thought this shit was fucking adorable. This 10-year-old kid did a science project to prove whether or not Tom Brady is a cheater. So when I saw it, I immediately thought to myself, this is beautiful. Because it's touching upon something that I've always known near and dear to my heart. It's that children are the fucking future, and that the New England Patriots ain't shit. I understand they're one of the more winningest franchise in the NFL, American football, but they ain't shit. And they ain't shit because a lot of their history has to do a lot with bending rules and cheating and the whole 9 yards of it. So what I thought was hilarious was the simple fact that when it came down to this one kid, and his name is, let me see here, Ace Davis from Kentucky. So mind you, he's not like a Giants or a Jets fan, so you can't be like, oh, he's probably just some asshole kid from New York. No, he's from Lexington. He's more likely a Louisville fan. Okay, he decided to go ahead and use through science that Tom Brady was a cheater through science. He used examples such as how deflated footballs give Brady an advantage, and for his project, he even included results of an experiment that he did with his mom and sister using footballs of varying inflation. What kills me is there was a whole special counsel on some like Robert Mueller, Roger Stone snatching him from 6 a.m. and the motherfuckers looking like the fucking penguin investigation to protect this dickhead's fucking feelings when it's very clear that him and his fucking team cheated. So I just thought it was amazing. And please don't take like that joke about, you know, oh, Roger Stone, Mueller, da 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 da. Listen, I barely get political, okay? I just still think it's funny that motherfuckers roll down on them, not being paid, by the way, 6 in the morning, was like, guess what, motherfucker? We know you fucked up, so now here, come get your fucking little pimp hat and your fucking warm shoes because we need to talk with you. Your ass is going down. I just thought that shit was fucking hilarious. Is fucking hilarious. It really is. But then the fact, you know, getting back on this kid, the fact that this kid really was like, I'm able to determine just through simple science that a football with less air in it travels farther. I'm like, we had special counsels and judges and all this shit when all it took was for some fucking 10-year-old kid from fucking Lexington, Kentucky, who's probably a Louisville fucking fan, to determine that Tom Brady's punk bitch pristine ass is a cheater. And just in time for the Super Bowl, so you know he's gonna be famous. But see, Tom Brady so much ain't shit, he'll wind up probably, maybe or not, I'm hoping he doesn't, win the Super Bowl and hit up that kid and be like, hey, thanks, kid. Because you know his voice whenever he goes on social media. He's like, hey, thanks, kid. You know, this is Tom here. So I saw your post and, you know, I want to go and invite you to the New England Patriots trial camp where you can actually see the equipment and such that we use. And whatever equipment we use to get to the Super Bowls that we have in the past. So, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And stay in school. He'll be that dickhead to post some shit like that. And if he does get a 6th ring, he'll probably like wave his hands around and, you know, emphasize the additional ring. Because he's that much of a fucking dick. You know. So, needless to say, I just thought those were like particular moments in time on the motherfucking internet that were just too fucking funny. Too fucking funny. But that right there brings us to the end of this particular episode. And I'd like to thank, of course, my sponsors, because this episode is sponsored by, wait a minute, there's no sponsors yet. Except for the ones on anchor.fm. If you're interested in starting up, go to anchor.fm/start. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning into another podcast. Please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know your exact thoughts. Let me know what other areas of interest in which I may need to cover, some particular topics that you might be interested in. Just feedback, because I'm loving all the love from this. This shit just feels fucking amazing. And like I said, I'm so grateful. Even not being at 100%, I still want to give you guys my 110% for this sort of thing, because it's just, it's literally just me. It's literally like capturing my essence in an audio and visual form. Like you said, you got me right now chilling before I go ahead and go, you know, fucking go off the head to fucking bed, do-rag popping, you know, black sweatshirt, you know, among, you know, some of my favorite elements, and just speaking about some of the things that I think are funny, fucked up, and are interested to me. But this is Imani Wilson. This has been another bombastic podcast episode, and I'll see you. Peace.